Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Esri Education Summit. I'm Charlie Fitzpatrick. We're delighted to have you here with us. And thank you for spending time. We know that time is the thing that nobody has enough of this year, especially educators. So thank you for spending time with us. It's been an awful last 15 months for everyone. So we hope that you're safe and healthy, and that your schools and other institutions are okay as well. All right, we've got a big 2 days that are ready for you. And so who's we? Who's the we here? Let me call up. Here we come. All right, my colleagues, the Esri Education Team. We've got two different halves, but we talk to each other all the time, text each other all the time, Zoom with and Teams with each other constantly. So there are all of these people that you're going to be encountering over the next couple of days. But if you're thinking about just the school side, look on the right-hand side of the screen and you'll see Tom Baker, Kylie Donya, Jason Saul, and me. We're the sort of the core of the out in front schools team. All the rest of these folks work with us to make sure that everything is available. And then you can also see that we rely on an underpinning of whole bunches of teams across Esri, with the marketing team and graphics responsible for a lot of this, and the events team for making things happen, and others on our team who are working to make sure that you get to see this. And so it's a big team community. And then we've got folks that are outside of the US who are collaborating with us all the time, and we're working with them, particularly the two people right closest to the map on the right-hand side, Jason Saul in the UK, working for schools internationally, and Michael Gould working on the higher ed side internationally. So we're going to try to make sure that we get this to you. And so what is it, what is it that we're doing here? You've got 4 different Zoom rooms that you're going to be navigating. Each of them has separate URLs, and hopefully you received some emails about that. Only one of these rooms, room number 1, uses a password. There may be some breakouts during the SIGs. Otherwise, it's just going to be, you're going to be in those big rooms all the way through. The latest agenda information and the room links are at this wonderful short URL that I'm going to paste into the chat. And this is something that you can take advantage of. Rosemary has put this together so that everybody has good, quick links. We do have a request for you, and that is to keep your microphone off during the sessions, keep your camera off to make sure that your video and audio are just as crisp as can be, but keep your chat on and pay attention to the chat all the way through. Set your name, your Zoom name, so that people get to know who you are, and ideally a first name, last name, and some kind of location or institution, so that we get to see. And thinking about that schedule, we've got a set of sessions today and a slightly smaller set of sessions tomorrow, 4 different rooms that you're going to be navigating. We've got SIGs or networking at the end of the day. And as we're going all the way through, you can be in whichever session you wish. So you get to make those decisions all the way through here. There are 15-minute breaks in between, except for that session, the break in between 10:45 to 11:15 Pacific time today and tomorrow. That's going to make sure that you get a chance for a lunch or a dinner or a little nap, power nap, whatever it is that you need. We want to make sure that you got that. Now, this is the Education Summit. What about the user conference? That's going to be in the middle of July, the 12th to the 15th. We're going to be live streaming the plenaries, no registration needed for that. So we've got technical sessions and user sessions that you can take advantage of. We've got adults who can register for that using a maintained product like a school bundle. That works just fine. But we really want to make sure that that's adults that are registering, not students, because it's going to try to collect information from them. So make sure that you think about this, because the plenaries are going to be easy to watch. You can get yourself a plenary party, and we hope that you're there. Now, who's here? Here. All right, I'm going to turn this over to my colleague, Kylie Nonya. And now you are seeing a QR code and a URL there. So Kylie, if you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and let you jump in.
All right, so what you're looking at right here is a survey. And you saw that code a minute ago on Charlie's screen, and I'll show it again in just a second. But if you've already got it, go ahead and start filling this out. This is basically our equivalent, since we're virtual this year, of turning and meeting someone else in the room. So we want you to go ahead and fill out this information. It's just a quick one. Some information about your name, where you're joining us from, some of your role in education, what grade level you're interested in, how many years you've been in education, your GIS experience, your subject focus area, and then just for fun, the weather today. Now, with this, we're actually going to look at a couple of things, and I'm going to switch over now to the other thing we'll look at, because then I'll have the QR code back on the screen for you guys. So here's a QR code, and you can go ahead and fill that out. And I can see some of you already have, because we're already seeing some points over here in the map.
And Kylie, what is this form that you're seeing, that we're seeing on the page here? It looks like a dashboard.
Great. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Hopefully, oh, good. We do have a couple coming in now, so I know it's working. That threw me off there. So yeah, we're looking at a dashboard here, and the other form we did was actually part of Survey 123, which is a survey. So Survey 123 and Dashboard are two tools that we really hope educators know and are familiar with and are comfortable with, because they're pretty easy to use. And it's really powerful with your students to let them actually generate data through the survey and then use the dashboard and analyze it. And one of the side effects of this COVID year is that people are familiar with dashboards now. So a lot of teachers are getting a little bit more comfortable trying it. And it's a great time to go ahead and step in and see what you can do. So let's take a look. We've had a couple people fill it out, and I'm just going to talk about what we are seeing in the dashboard here. So the dashboard is taking the information that's being filled out in the survey and it's putting it on a map, but it's also putting it over here in a list. It's putting it in a chart. It's putting it in some controls over here that are totaling up some information about it. We can also see right now the majority of people who are filling this out are teachers. There's a couple parents, there's some tech IT people, some others. 19 people have filled it out. And on average, you guys have about 12 years of experience in education. Now, this is nice because when you're looking at the map, it's a little bit hard to get that information. And so a dashboard lets us take the data we've collected and extract different bits that are interesting. All right, I'll go ahead and click on one. Let's see what we've got. Just like in your other maps, you can see some information when it pops up, and you can see the details there. Now, I am going to give a quick sneak peek here, because one of the cool new tools this year that's been a pretty big difference since last year is that there is a new map viewer. And the reason I mention that now is that's how these pop-ups are able to be built, is using that. So I'm just throwing it out there because there's a session on it tomorrow. And if you're interested in learning more about the new map viewer, I hope you'll join myself and my colleague Joseph Kursky on that tomorrow. All right, let's take one last look here at the survey. Wow, we've got 31 people have answered it now. So you can scroll down on the side. We can see a little bit about what the weather's like. It's really hot here. It's sunny for Martin. And Bob has it also. It's very hot. You can see where people are located. I'm going to zoom out a little so we can look. You can see a little bit of distribution. All right, so this is just to give you a sense of who we're going to be talking to for these 2 days and who we'll be working with. All right, Charlie, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over.
Okay, that's terrific, because what that also means is that we're going to be able to set people to be able to access that throughout this session. They can add to it and have a good time with it. All right. So what's the program? If you go to esri.com/schools, which many of you have already done, you've hit the pull down button and you've looked at the schools mapping software bundle and the other options. But a lot of people start with the esri.com/schools, and the software is the big thing that a lot of people think about. This is free to schools for instructional use. That's different if you're thinking about admin side, but instruction around the world, schools and youth clubs, there is a set of software that is available. And in the States, you can do that at this address. Outside of the US, you'll want to go in and check with your your local Esri distributor. But the school bundle comes in two different versions, and there is what we think of as sort of the elementary version, the basic, which is powerful as it is, with an ArcGIS online organization and apps, and then the advanced version that adds a whole bunch more apps and capacity within that. Now, as the pandemic started, we also added a GIS Club Kit for short-term temporary use, thinking particularly about family educational pods and things like that. So this is something that in the States, people can have access to, and you'll see a link to that at the esri.com/schools site. But there's also instructional materials and opportunities and guidance. And what has happened is that all that has been working its way into getting these 50 some odd hundred sites across the United States using ArcGIS Online, and an even larger number around the world. So people are doing a lot of powerful GIS with this. Now, we're going to get rolling with some of our session in here, because what we want to do is to make sure that you get to see some things that everybody can take advantage of. And the geo inquiries is something that a lot of people have started with. And we've got Mr. Geo Inquiry himself, Tom Baker. We're going to throw Tom in here. Let me biggerize Tom and tell us, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom Baker with Esri's education team, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about the updates to our Geo Inquiries program. For those of you who do not use Geo Inquiries, these are short, standards-based instructional activities for K-12 classrooms. Currently, we have 10 collections and about 175 activities to help you teach the content that you're already teaching. These aren't really designed to help you teach GIS, but rather to teach the regular classroom content that you're accustomed to. What I'm sharing with you here today is our new Geo Inquiries Hub. Like a lot of hub sites, we offer a search that allows for keyword searching. So if I want to do a search for climate change, looking for Geo Inquiries content, I can type it in, hit return, and you'll notice I get a variety of resources returned. Web maps, PDFs, there's even a hub page here, and as I scroll down, in this case, in result 4, you'll notice that I see something called New Map Viewer, Climate Change, Esri Geo Inquiries Collection for Earth Science. We have been and will continue over the summer to develop our traditional Geo Inquiries for the new Map Viewer. As these activities are developed, of course, we'll put them into the Geo Inquiries Hub. So if you want to get a sneak peek at this content before it's moved up to the Esri.com site, come over to the Geo Inquiries Hub and you can explore. You will notice that with the new Map Viewer activities, we have also tweaked the URL to the map just ever so slightly. So be advised. I'm going to go ahead and back up to our main hub page again. And you'll notice we've got a navigation across the top. I want to take a brief look at themes. These are cross-cutting concepts that really span multiple collections. So you'll see that we've got a race, equity, and justice theme, a democracy, a climate, and a conflict theme. So if I click on race, equity, and justice, you'll see what we've done is simply identify some of the activities that fall into the various collections that really support this cross-cutting theme. This can be very helpful for teachers who work inside of a multidisciplinary or team format, especially like in middle school. So be advised, this work is in progress. We are actually adding new content under the Race, Equity, and Justice theme. We expect to have that ready by the start of school. And we will be adding new themes to our hub. So I really want to focus on quick links in the time I have. Link 2 is the GeoInquiries Classroom Atlas. This is a new tool that we added this spring. It gives us a way to explore the 150 plus maps in the GeoInquiries collection. In this case, we have divided up the GeoInquiries, of course, into their collections. So Chapter 1 includes American Lit, and you'll see that the 15 GeoInquiry activities are listed. I can click on a title and go straight to the map for that activity. You'll also notice that for each activity listed in the atlas, there's a small letter T, letter S, and letter M, which provide quick links to the teacher resources, the student resources, and then of course the map. If I bounce back over to our main hub page and I want to take a look at quick link number 3, this is our student worksheets link. Now these worksheets are not new, but relatively few educators know about them. What we've done is taken the GeoInquiries activity and poured them into a format more consumable for students. So if you want to use them for homework or you want to use GeoInquiries in a worksheet-driven format, the work is already done for you. Moreover, these are much easier to edit. So to recap, new for 2021 are GeoInquiries themes, the GeoInquiries Atlas, and a reminder that the student worksheets as well as a story map are here to help you out. And don't forget about those new activities coming in race, equity, and social justice later this summer. So that's all we have for GeoInquiries. Thanks a lot.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Now, let me see if I can close that out, because one of our other partners is big partner for us. And we've got 3 people, Chris Hines, Sarah Appleton, and Rachel Anderson with us today, also by video. So let me see if we can load them up here.
Hi, my name is Chris Hines, and I'm a Regional Director on the National Geographic Education Team supporting our partnership with Esri. Thank you to the Esri Education Team for providing the opportunity to share updates with you all at this year's Education Summit. Earlier in June, the National Geographic Society released a new strategic plan, NG Next. This plan takes a next step forward by charting a dynamic 5-year plan that strengthens our foundation, builds on our momentum, embeds diversity, equity, and inclusion into every aspect of our work, and sets a clear vision for the future to drive significant impact. Our mission is to use the power of science, exploration, education, and storytelling to illuminate and protect the wonder of our world. We invite you to view our new strategic plan at natgeo.org. And throughout the plan, education is featured prominently and is being elevated throughout the organization. National Geographic Education believes that young people and the educators who reach them are key to addressing the planet's most pressing problems. Our programs are based on the belief that students should be empowered with the mindset of an explorer and use those attitudes, skills, and knowledge to change the world. What does that actually look like? How do explorers do what they do? Based upon these questions, we created a learning framework that underpins our resources and programs, such as free professional learning courses for educators and youth. These courses feature topics such as mapping, geographic skills, climate change, data collection, storytelling, and the explorer mindset. We also offer a vast resource library that contains thousands of free resources searchable by topic and grade level. And we also offer student experiences such as Explorer Classroom that connects youth with explorers to inspire and educate. Visit natgeoed.org to learn more and find resources for your classroom. We also focus on powerful partnerships for outsized impact that support educators and youth. One of our core partners is, of course, Esri, and we're delighted to continue strengthening and deepening this partnership. As integral partners in education and conservation, Esri and the National Geographic Society support efforts that illuminate our world's most pressing problems and inspire action. We believe that creating a spatially literate world by engaging educators and youth is vital to ensuring future generations make informed decisions about our world. Collaboratively, we are developing game-changing tools and co-designing content and experiences with and for educators, students, and youth. We are excited to share a few examples of these partnership resources and experience that leverage Esri's powerful technology and National Geographic's Explorers for educators and youth. On World Oceans Day, June 8th, National Geographic and Esri announced that we are co-hosting the 2021 ArcGIS Story Maps Challenge. We invite youth globally to participate in the challenge to restore our ocean. The challenge is open to high school and college students of any age and any other individuals ages 18 to 24. We look forward to seeing all of the story maps that will be reviewed by an amazing lineup of judges. Creating a story map can empower young people, educators, and anyone to learn about the ocean, create impactful stories, and build their storytelling skills. Continuing on the story maps theme, we developed an ocean story map to feature how National Geographic explorers, young explorers, and educators are conserving the ocean and educating others about the ocean. Check out this Ocean is Ours story map that blends explorer-led projects around the world with ocean education content such as this educator and family guide to the ocean, as well as educator-generated content. And we invite you all to contribute your own ocean lessons and ideas for a chance to be featured on National Geographic Education's community channels. Story maps also tell critical history, such as the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921. This story map discusses the state of the US in 1921, Greenwood, the massacre, the aftermath, current initiatives, and offers points of reflection. The story map accompanies a recent Tulsa virtual field trip that you can view, the Nat Geo magazine cover article in June, and a Nat Geo channel documentary released just before Juneteenth. And on the National Geographic Resource Library, we have a variety of GIS resources, such as exploring climate change through GIS. This helps students build spatial reasoning skills to better understand and take action on climate change. These resources include units on Everest, watershed activities, and other interactive maps for you and your students to explore. Now I'm delighted to introduce two of my colleagues, Sarah Appleton and Rachel Anderson, to introduce one of the most exciting Esri and National Geographic collaborations around map making.
Thanks, Chris. I'm Sarah Appleton. At National Geographic, we know teachers love maps. You love them because they are incredibly powerful teaching tools. Maps help keep students engaged, which results in better learning outcomes. They are indispensable for teaching students geographic concepts and can be an effective means to convey contextual data or supporting information. Maps are also great tools for teaching essential 21st century skills, including data analysis, critical thinking, data-driven decision-making, and spatial thinking. We've spent a year and a half talking with teachers like you and your students. You showed us the lessons you've developed and talked us through your biggest barriers to incorporating maps in your classroom. One teacher we spoke with shared a great activity they did with their 4th graders on plate tectonics using paper maps, and a 6th grade teacher walked us through their lesson on ancient Rome. We saw the need for a tool that could serve as an on-ramp to interactive maps that would allow students to see the interconnectedness of our world at the touch of a button from any device, anywhere. My team member Rachel is here to show you the beta version of this new tool.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, my name is Rachel Anderson, and I'm a product manager here at National Geographic. I'm working alongside Sarah and a cross-functional team of individuals who are passionate about reimagining mapping in the classroom. For years, our most popular tool has been our original MapMaker Interactive. It was created in 2010 and updated in 2015, but it was time for a modern refresh. So we set out to reimagine from the ground up a mapping tool for the classroom powered by Esri's cutting-edge technology. Today, we're happy to show you how to easily find, create, and use interactive maps in your classroom using the beta version of our new Map Maker. You can save a copy of a National Geographic Map Maker map for use in future lessons, or make your own map in Map Maker using a curated set of map layers. As you can see, Map Maker contains a growing list of map layers that you and your students can select from, complete with a layer legend and tools to add points, annotations, and shapes to the map. We're working to ensure that this tool is simple to get started, fits your classroom workflow, and features high-quality, up-to-date map layers to support the topics you need to teach. Today, we want to invite you to join us as early access users of our new MapMaker tool. Visit natgeoed.org/mapmaker to learn more. And stay tuned for more exciting updates coming to MapMaker this fall, allowing you to easily manage student users, as well as enabling students to create and submit maps as part of classroom assignments. On behalf of Nat Geo and all of our team, we want to thank you for everything you do as teachers this year and every year. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah and Rachel. Very exciting. And thank you to the Esri Education Team for the opportunity to share these updates and for the great partnership. So we invite all of you to explore our education offerings at natgeoed.org or connect with us on social media at natgeoeducation. We hope you enjoy the Esri Education Summit and also hope to see you at the user conference in July for some exciting National Geographic guests.
Thanks to the Nat Geo team for that. Let me see if I can close that. And that is supporting us with all kinds of content. And this is the Learn team at a video that he wants to share with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Riley Peak and I'm the team lead for Learn Arcgis. I'm excited to be here today and to have a few moments to share some of the educational resources that the Learn team creates, how to find them, who they're for, and what resources we have specifically for schools and higher education. So what is Learn Arcgis? Well, Learn Arcgis is a free problem-based learning website where we share real-world scenarios written by subject matter experts from both inside Esri, as well as industry professionals and educators outside the company for the purpose of helping customers, teachers, and students engage and apply GIS. So where can you find Learn Arcgis? Well, you can find it really quickly with just learn.arcgis.com. So let me just show you really quickly our homepage here, and I'll tell you a little bit about who Learn Arcgis is for. So Learn develops materials for a few primary audiences. New users or future GIS users seeking to understand the purpose and value of GIS. GIS professionals interested in trying and applying new products. Data scientists, or maybe those interested in how ArcGIS is used for more advanced analytics, Python, notebooks, machine learning, and statistical analysis tools. But we also cater to our educational audience, so K-12 educators looking to get started. Higher education professors, instructors, or TAs looking for end-to-end, up-to-date workflows with data, strong scenarios, and dynamic deliverables, as well as higher education students who want to take their skills to the next level for their projects across the subject matter spectrum. So what does Learn have for school teachers? The most common question that I get from K-12 educators is where to start. Our answer to that is teach with GIS. Many teachers do not have the time nor the resources to learn and adopt new technology into the classroom. So we've created an experience with low barriers and clear pathways for you to successfully start using ArcGIS in your class, or maybe recommend to a colleague who asks how they could get started. So here are 5 steps that any teacher can do without a lot of time commitment and with very little experience. The first step is to discover some ready-made teaching tools with instructions on how to apply it in the classroom. Discover and learn how to use existing interactive applications from the Living Atlas that don't require any login. And your first action item can be to go and explore one of these apps. In our lessons and ideas section, these activities are created specifically for your students and pair up with the teaching tools from step 1. So your next action item could be to share one of these activities with a student or a child in your work or family and see what they learn. This section is all about building your skills, knowledge, and confidence using ArcGIS. These short activities will help you learn the basics and even come with matching badges in the Microsoft Education Center. So many of these activities can be done without logging into ArcGIS Online. So one great action item here would be to try one of these collections and then go to the Microsoft Education Center to get a badge as recognition for your new skills. And this section here is all about educators and advocates. All of the lessons, story maps, and videos created by educators already using GIS to share their lessons, experiences, and stories with you. So your next action would be to try one of these classroom tested lessons created by teachers for teachers. And then the last and probably the easiest thing to do is to visit the community corner. This section is really a space for you to share your public initiatives or find others, GIS education success stories, your favorite story map, or with permission, of course, your students' projects. The last action you can take here is to share a story map with your peers. So, what comes next? The Learn Arcgis site has a wide assortment of lessons, activities, and other resources for taking your learning in the direction that you want it to go. Please let us know how we are doing, what we could be doing better, or maybe ideas that you have for new lessons. So visit Learn Arcgis or teachwithgis.com for these resources and more to give you the right resources for you to be successful with ArcGIS in the classroom. Thanks so much.
Outstanding, Riley. Thank you. Our next group that is going to be presenting some information is Esri Training. And Laura, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and open it up for you.
Hi there. So on the heels of those wonderful resources that were just presented, I'm going to talk to you a little bit for a few moments about one more resource that's available, and that is Esri Training. So I want to first of all draw the difference between what is available on Esri Training versus the Learn site. So Riley just showed you some of the great tools that are there, especially for teachers, lots of great resources for using with children in the classroom and so forth. So I will contrast a little bit that with what's available on Esri Academy, which is what we also call our training site. So Esri Training mainly serves the professional development needs of our adult users of Esri products. We provide training for organizations who are interested in workforce development in support of their GIS goals. And of course, we also provide training for individuals, such as working professionals, college students, career changers, really any adult who wants to build ArcGIS skills for their job, to advance a career, or perhaps to tackle an important project. And typically these people already have ArcGIS software in place and they're trying to build their skills. Our training catalog includes hundreds, literally, of options, various kinds of training. We have learning formats like web courses, recorded training seminars, MOOCs, all sorts of videos, some things recorded from conferences or made specifically as part of training, and so forth. So all these things are available to you as well. So let's talk about how to access this training. First of all, the website is public. You can access it, anyone can access it by coming to esri.com. And then if you can type in esri.com/training. It's pretty easy to remember, but if you don't remember that and you just come to esri.com, you can go up here to the support and services menu and find training right here. So that's pretty easy. So in our catalog, as I said, we have hundreds of different options. When you come to the catalog, you see a variety of things that you can filter and browse by. For example, you might choose mapping, and then underneath the topic, there are some focus areas that you can choose. And then within that, you can also choose specific formats that you want to look for, or filter by products like ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Pro, and so forth. So, and anyone can come here and look around, but you'll see two different kinds of training. Usually the training is either marked free or requires maintenance. So let's talk about that. In order to actually access the training, you'll need to sign in to esri.com. So we ask you to sign in so that your learning experience can be personalized. For example, you can save items of interest to a wish list, you can add upcoming training events to your schedule, or you can access your training history and the certificates of completion that you would earn if you complete a web course or a MOOC or something like that. So that way we track you, we know who you are and what kinds of things you were looking at in training. So if the course is marked requires maintenance, that means it also requires a qualifying ArcGIS product with a current maintenance subscription. So don't worry, ArcGIS for Schools bundle qualifies as one of those kinds of products. So what that means is if you're the administrator for an ArcGIS Online organization or school bundle, then this access to Esri Training is the primary reason to Esri enable an ArcGIS Online organizational account. So this is something you'll probably want to do for your teachers, maybe some staff, a librarian, the other adults that are in your organization and trying to learn about ArcGIS. That way they can come here and take any of this training for free. It's not necessarily something that you want to do for your students. For minor students, you know, because this site is designed for adults, we do collect personal information. So that's not something that you're likely to want to do for your students. So I don't have a lot of time today to talk about specific courses and resources on here, but I will say that there are a few of them that are designed specifically for teachers. So one way to find them is to do a keyword search of the catalog under using the term educator or teach, and that will land you most of those courses. So I've done that here. You can see, I just want to point out a couple of things. There's a course here, Teaching with ArcGIS, Living Atlas of the World. That one is designed to help you find some of the resources on the Living Atlas and understand how that works and so forth from a teacher perspective. Another one is this Data Skills for Teachers, Transferring Attributes from one map layer to another. That really covers a workflow that can help teachers who are wanting to compile their own attribute data and map it, and maybe struggling to figure out how to get those attributes onto a map layer. And so this is some great information to help you with that workflow. There's one exception in the training site to the adult rule that I've been talking about. There's a set of 5 courses that are grouped together in this Get to Know GIS for Secondary Students Learning Plan. These are designed for high school students, some middle school students may enjoy them as well. So what's unique about these 5 courses is that these are the only things on the training site that you can actually access without signing in. So if I click one of these, I have the option to access the course anonymously. I can sign in. So if you're an adult and you want it to show up in your training history, you can sign in to Esri.com. But if not, and I've taken the course before, so it's not giving me the little gatekeeper message, but it'll ask you if you want to take it anonymously. So that way students can take it without having signed into Esri.com. So that's just something to keep in mind. This is a really nice set of courses. Let me see if I can go back here for a second and show you. One of the courses in this series is called Putting Your GIS Skills to Work. And that's a unique course that we have that's kind of focused on careers, a career in GIS. It talks about some of those kinds of things that maybe a high school junior or senior might be interested in when they're looking at what they might want to do with their future. So it's also something I like to suggest that maybe if you have a guidance counselor that's interested in learning more about how GIS fits into the workplace, or first how they can advise students, that might be a fun course for them to take as well.
That's
if you're
great.
already familiar with these, that I just want to say quickly that these courses have been being updated over the last year, and the Telling Stories with GIS maps is the last one, coming probably in September. Will be completely updated to use the new ArcGIS Story Maps builder, so you can watch for that coming too. And with that, I'll leave it and turn it back to Charlie.
Thanks, Laura. Go ahead and stop sharing so I can then begin sharing my screen to finish up here. And let's see, we can do this. All right, thanks for that on training. So notes, things that you need to know. We got a minute to race through this. We've been pouring a lot of information to you, but there are two websites. One that you can see that has the agenda and links to all of the sessions. Remember that room 1 requires a password. Everything else you can just jump into. If you need a certificate of attendance, you can email educ@esri.com after the event is over. At the 8:45 time, which we're racing toward immediately, you're going to want to take a break and choose your room 1, 2, 3, 4 and get there. At the end of the session today, the office is open. That's our networking time. And you can see the plenary links that we have here at that address. You can go to do that. And it's always, you can reach us at schools@esri.com. So there is something that you will want to see that is on the plenary's links, some books that are available for youth at Esri Press. There's a great little video that walks you through these. There's a reminder about the Story Maps Challenge. You'll see the link for that. And there's information about the ArcGIS online competition for U.S. high school and middle school students. We just ended and had a webinar earlier this last week. High school and middle school winners and honorable mentions there. Fabulous projects. We want you to go in and explore. And if you're a teacher, we hope that you will be working and teacher in the US to enter your own entry in the Esri Teacher Video Challenge. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing time with us. Bye-bye.